Hello, friends. What a kaleidoscope of feelings I hold inside me. The thirst for life, the hunger for new knowledge and sensations, the awareness that every minute I live is filled with meaning. Life is exciting, very exciting. I live with passion, but at the same time with a deep sense of peace, as if I'm carried by a stream. And instead of resisting, I simply trust everything that happens. But reaching this state of mind was not easy, and it didn't come to me right away. The year of 2005. I was young, confident, and I had just returned from the United States, where I spent a year as a part of au pair cultural exchange program. My English was strong at that point, and after passing a series of interviews, I became one of the organizers of the G8 finance ministers meeting in St. Petersburg. I was responsible for delegations from the World Bank, then headed by Paul Wolfowitz, and the International Monetary Fund, led by Rodrigo Durata. I managed everything: hotel bookings, transportation, meetings, translations, dining, and even leisure planning. I still remember being in a VIP box at Swan Lake for the very first time. The pace was insane. Sometimes I returned home at 2 a.m. only to leave at 6 a.m. again. But I had my own armored Mercedes and a personal driver. I truly felt like a queen. The entire preparation process, plus the 5 days of the meeting itself, stretched into 3 months. It was such a vivid and fascinating experience that I even dreamt of starting my own travel company to organize trips to America for Russian people. 2 years later, I actually opened my first business, but I will tell you more about that in another episode. When the G8 meeting ended and everyone flew home, I experienced something very powerful. The same thing that happened to me last year when I completed Road 66 on my motorcycle. There is a phrase: to hit a milestone. It's when you reach a peak of emotions, a goal that brings something new and previously unknown into your life. The parallel was clear. During the G8, the level of responsibility was enormous. The pace was crazy. But when it was all over, I first felt like a pure joy, pride, and happiness that I had touched the world of global leaders. And then, very quickly, all those positive emotions faded away. What replaced them was emptiness, sadness, and the sense of being unnecessary, as if the connection to something grand had suddenly been cut off. And when I finished Road 66, I felt the same. The road was brutal, constant lack of sleep, physical pain, temperature swings from heat to cold, rain, hail, storms, mirages. Yet at the same time, it was filled with adventure, laughter, tears, fear, and joy. I went on that journey to mark the beginning of a new life, leaving behind people and events that no longer belonged to me. Route 66 was my declaration of strength. And when I finally reached Santa Monica, parked my motorcycle, and walked out onto the pier and into the ocean breeze, the explosion of emotions was indescribable. The happiness was so intense that it was almost beyond comprehension. Brighter, stronger, deeper than anything I had ever felt before. Perhaps only those who have experienced such a moment can truly understand. After the G8 meeting, my emptiness came fast. By the second day, with Route 66, the euphoria lasted longer, maybe 3 months, but then it crashed, and I felt broken. I thought the spring would come and revive me, and then I would start riding, then summer, then fall, but I didn't start riding again. And one day I realized why. I hit a milestone. Reaching that peak would be hard to repeat. I asked myself, what could give me the same feelings again? And Everest came to my mind. Everest came to my mind. Will I go there? No, I will not climb Everest. Because I gave the promise to my son, and because I have frostbite from my professional skiing days. And this makes this expedition impossible for me. But then another thought came to me. Do I really need to go? Do I need to live chasing storms of emotion, bursts of pride, adrenaline, heights? No, I don't want to. I want to keep Route 66 as my symbol of strength and new beginning. But I don't want to live on the edge of survival anymore. I want to live with curiosity, with love, surrounded by inspiring people. I want to read, watch movies, to wake up with joy at sunrise and fall asleep with satisfaction of the day. I lived. I want to live in honesty, not in lies. When I understood this, oh my God, I found a peace. It was like entering the flow of life and trusting it completely. It's like I surrender myself to life. The stream carries me and I do not resist. That is where the essence of true happiness lies. I walked this path for 21 months. Every meeting, every message, every sign happened exactly as it needed to. What is truth will stay. What is not truth will fall away. And I realized true happiness must be earned. You must walk through tears, doubts, and fears to reach it. And you can only find it once you let go of the past, let go of guilt and obligation, and tell yourself, I want to live differently. And then surrender, fully surrender to the flow of life. That is where the essence of truth lies. That is where real happiness lives. I don't know what the future holds, but I know this. My blue eyes will shine only with happiness. My goals will be achieved not through struggle, but through trust in everything around me. And above all, I am grateful. I am very grateful for everything that has happened to me. Grateful that I found the essence of happiness here and now. Grateful that my son has touched this state of mind too and lives the way I live. Because in the end, why do we live? We live so that life continues through us. And when my 11-year-old son asked me, "Mom, what do the stars do during the day when no one can see them?" I smiled and answered, "They shine. They simply shine, even if no one notices, and so must we."